everybody, Craig from Arms and Armor today, and we're going to talk about a piece that we have right away available right now to ship. It's one of the few swords we have that's actually finished in the shop right now. We got a lot underway. But this piece was left over from some pieces we did for a show, and it's a very nice single-handed medieval sword. And we're going to talk a little bit about this piece and then what it can kind of illustrate on some of the aspects of the typology that most people use to talk about medieval swords, especially in English, and that's the oakshot typology. This piece is probably a mid-12th century, very much a single-handed medieval sword of the high medieval period, knights in armor on horses gallivanting around. It's a very distinct blade. It's probably still a type 10A in the oakshot, but that just describes the blade shape. So as you look down this blade, you can see it's got some lovely lines, nice taper all the way down in the fuller and the edges, ending in that nice broad point. That's what that's describing, is the blade shape is the type 10A. The pommel would be what you would classify as an E, kind of a T-cozy shape, kind of rounded. It has a very distinct kind of shape to it, where it's these kind of mounded top and then a curved bottom. You can still see some of the design elements, in a sense, from some of the Nordic and Viking period type pommels, but this is starting to transition into that high medieval type of sword. It's got a short straight guard, which would be style 3 in the oakshot typology, and then the hilt family would be an A. So all of those components would go together to describe the sword using the typology. It's not just a type 10A. That only describes the blade in essence. This piece has a nice brown leather grip on it, fairly simple. The straight guard is kind of chamfered on the corners as it comes out, so it ends in a hexagonal shape as opposed to a square. And then, as I said, that pommel is kind of rounded and tapers kind of on all the edges. It's got kind of creases down the edge here, but is rounded on the other points. So this sword is quite easy in the hand. It runs about 38 inches, just a hair over overall. Blade length is 31 and just a hair over a half inches in length. The grip's about 4 1/4. The guard width is about 7 1/2 inches. So it's a good, excellent sword for that medieval early period. This would be something that you would see very easily in the time of like Henry II, the second or third Crusades. This is that period that you would see. This is the type of sword that soldiers would carry in against the armies of Saladin in the Crusades, or in the many different types of conflicts that occurred across Europe in that mid-12th century. The balance point on this runs about just under 5 inches, so it's got a little bit of a forward weight, but when you're using the sword and moving it through space and time, that really accentuates the ability to kind of bring some force into the blow. It in no way kind of hinders it as far as it being heavy or out of balance in any way. It's just a good sword, would make an excellent cutting sword. But this is a particularly nice early medieval, high medieval kind of sword that you would see in that period of time. So if you're looking for a high medieval sword to put in your collection, this might be the one for you.